All eyes look upward at CHI Memorial Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The Red Wolves aim for the top spot in USL League One, while forward Madison look to climb back into the top 8. The USL League One is on ESPN+. Hello, welcome, I'm Ryan Lee. Thanks for joining us today. As we enter the second half of the season, the table only tightens. The Mingos were beat up early, but a healthier roster could be key into climbing up the standings. Madison need 3 points to force a three-way tie with Greenville and Portland. The Red Wolves are the number 2 seed, just 2 points behind Spokane with an extra game in hand. A win would put them in pole position. They have been one of the hottest teams in the league. A 5-game unbeaten run, including 4 wins, extending to 5 wins in the last 6 if you include the Jaeger Cup. Their last match against Westchester extended a July run that featured a +9 goal differential, 4 clean sheets, and Scott McKenzie named Coach of the Month. Coach McKenzie said that the award represents the players and staff who are all in on our culture. And one of those key cogs for Chattanooga has been none other than the forward Omar Hernandez. Today is his 50th appearance across all competitions for Chattanooga. McKenzie said that he has a lot of belief in himself and his game. One reason why the Week 20 Player of the Week has posted 5 of his 6 career goals since March of this year. While Chattanooga has seen goals galore, the Mingos have been flightless in 2025. After a top 3 offensive team from last year, injuries to key players have stagnated the attack for Matt Glazier. He said the sheer number of guys out has been unprecedented, but the depth they brought in has stopped the bleeding. Now, it's all about rediscovering the continuity and the commitment to the collective that has produced the best results. The Flock has found their wings midway through July, unbeaten in the last 4 with a pair of wins creeping up the table. They sit a win away from a playoff slot, and even Chattanooga's coach Scott McKenzie said their turnaround is not surprising. The coaches and players are too good. The standings don't represent how good they are as an organization. 2 of the hottest teams in League One square off in Chattanooga. The Red Wolves are unbeaten in their last 6. Madison have points in their last 4. Lineups and kickoff are next.
This isn't just a team, it's a statement. We don't just represent Chattanooga.
Let's get it poppin', let's get it poppin'.
We run it.
Let's get it poppin'.
Built to battle. Fueled by pride. Driven by the pack.
Let's get it poppin'.
Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Why do you always seem to be on that last flight home? Why is the customer always right, even when they're wrong? It's because when it's your business, you're all in. And no one's all in with you like EPB. Only EPB is all in with 100% fiber fast internet that's always your best value. Plus experts all in to help you 24/7. We're all in Chattanooga because we're all in this together. EPB for your business. We're all in.
We welcome you back to CHI Memorial Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee. All eyes look up as Chattanooga aim for the 1 seed. Forward Madison look for a 3-way tie above the playoff line in the top 8. For Scott McKenzie, 5 changes were made since their last game against Westchester. 2 veterans up top with Bentley and Hernandez with the rookie Mercer up top. While Leffy was the only returning starter in the midfield, he scored the opening goal, which was his 3rd in USL League One. Owen Green fills the back line. It's his 85th League One match, 30 with Chattanooga. And with first place on the line, why not go with the current Golden Glove leader, Jason Smith? He leads League One in goals against average, most clean sheets, and he's got points in 11 of his 12 starts for the rookie keeper from Syracuse. As for Matt Glazier and forward Madison, whole bunch of changes because of health on the roster. McLaughlin returns from injury as he and Galindres are up top with over 60 combined League One goals. A very experienced midfield as all four have been pro since 2020 or earlier. Timmy Mail and Faraday Sosa are in the back line. They have both accumulated over 50 matches with the Mingos, and Burn Shipman has started the last 8. This gives a chance for Wallace Lapsley to start for the first time since May, 70 matches as a pro. We make our way towards center pitch at CHI Memorial Stadium, where all eyes have their eyes set on escalating the standings. A top 8 slot for forward Madison, looking to continue the playoff run to 3 straight since Matt Glazier took over head coaching duties in 2022. As for Chattanooga, looking to make the playoffs for the first time since Scott McKenzie took the helm in 2023, where he has played 49 matches as the head coach of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. As Chattanooga are in the maroon jerseys, they go right to left to start the opening half. Forward Madison in the all pink, left to right they begin, as Ryan Lee and our entire ESPN Plus crew welcome you to Chattanooga, Tennessee, where 3 of the most important points all season are up for grabs for both Madison and Chattanooga. We start with Chattanooga. They've been one of the hottest teams throughout the entire league from the jump. A bit of a shaky start to start off with points in 3 of the last 4, in their first 4, but those were all draws. They've really strung along some of the offensive firepower that has really jumped them into one of the best teams in USL League One, much of that coming from a really stellar, fast, dynamic counterattack and a lockdown defense led by the first-year goaltender, Jason Smith from the Syracuse Orange. As for Ford Madison, they've been beat up all year long. A lot of their key cogs, veterans like Devin Boyce and Garrett McLaughlin, they've been missing throughout the entirety of the season because they've just been hurt up and down the roster. A lot of depth signings throughout the year, a lot of guys having to come in and out of the lineup. One of their captains, Mitch Osmond, out for the season, but they brought guys to fill in those holes, and it's all about regaining the continuity that has helped them find success in seasons past with the new pieces they've acquired. Talking about the fast, fiery counterattack for Chattanooga, Matt Bentley can't control. Follow-up is up for Ayambila. Ayambila to cross, Bentley with a touch, and the first save made by Wallace Lapsley only 90 seconds in. Lapsley might be hurt as well, but just talked about the fiery and fast counterattack for Chattanooga off of a missed pass by forward Madison. That gave Chattanooga a lane to go the other way. And if you want to talk about not just the counterattack, but how efficient they are, you just have to look no further than their metrics in terms of shooting and scoring. Top 3 in terms of goals scored, but they are a bottom 3 team in terms of just getting shots off, as Lapsley is really slow to get back on his feet. It's only his first start since May 24th earlier this year in a 1-1 draw against Portland Hearts of Pine. And he has been riding the bench ever since, with Burn Shipman leading the way. He played every single match, every single minute for forward Madison a year ago, and bringing in Lapsley from Union Omaha allows a little bit of wiggle room for Matt Glazier, because they have not just one starting caliber goalie in their roster, they have 2. Talking about how it's really nice to have 2 starting caliber goalkeepers on the roster, how Wallace has had a lot of really good games for Madison, including games in the Jaeger Cup, a couple fill-in games in the regular season, and that also allows an opportunity for Shipman to actually take a step back, to maybe calm things down a little bit, get his body and his mind fully rested and ready to go for a challenging final stretch of the season, as both teams have 14 games remaining in the 2025 season. Madison regained possession after some back and forth. Deflection out of range for Garrett McLaughlin, who was missing for about 2.5 seasons due to injuries. As we take a look at Madison's bench, Matt Glazier, who has been so consistent since taking over the helm, since coming over from Sacramento Republic as their goalkeeping coach. Today is the 99th regular season match that Glazier has been in Madison's bench. But they'll have to look out. Chattanooga spring up ahead. Hernandez from range and just out of reach. Omar Hernandez with a sizzler on the left foot. He has been so good in his second year as a pro, as he just had that header come right to Hernandez and just lets this one rip. That had all the speed in the world. He had 2 goals in a pair of games in match week 20 where he was player of the week. He has been so dynamic in the second season as a professional. 6 career goals across all competition. 5 of them have come since the season started only 5 months ago in March. The juggling of this back line for Matt Glazier with Timmy Mayo, Faraday Sosa sliding in with Shalaka and Krul, who have been 2 of the usual suspects that you would see in Madison's back line, is essentially placed to Murphy. Another one of those deflected passes, doesn't go Madison's way, but they recollect. Sosa. Trying to find a lane upward is McLaughlin. McLaughlin has a body all over him. That's Ian Vila, as Madison will win the whistle. Devin Poyce will take this set piece, getting back into the fold after missing some time due to some lingering injuries as well. He stands with Isaac Anking as the first major set piece comes in 6 minutes. Anking to take, swept in, nothing there. Second try as Murphy tries to escape. Boyce and Anking. Deep try from Anking, and that's held on. The first touch made by Jason Smith. The current Golden Glove leader in terms of goals against average is the way it's calculated in USL League One. He only has 12 games as a starter. 9 of them he has seen goals come behind him. That only puts him at a couple hundredths of a goal ahead of Spokane Velocity's Carlos Marancio. And if you look into the overall history of the USL and USL League One, a lot of those top teams in the table typically have had excellent play in goal, and for a first year, it's not necessarily something that you've seen, but with the tutelage of the 39-year-old Guatemalan international Ricardo Harris, it does help. The clearance just bobbles right towards Smith as it deflected off of the foot of Eric Kinsner. That was an awkward juggle, but it does work out for Chattanooga as that one banked off of McLaughlin on the foot of Kinsner, and Smith focused all the way through, but Matt Bentley can't get the touchdown. It's the 19th match between Chattanooga and Madison. This is the most matches played by either side against an opponent. Madison does lead the head-to-head. They have 7 games which were tied, and of the other 11, Madison have won 11 of them. However, here at CHI Memorial Stadium, this has been a difficult place to play for forward Madison because Chattanooga lead that head-to-head with 5 draws, and the other 5 games favor Chattanooga when played here at CHI. And they have not only done that against the Mingos in particular, but against everyone who has crossed the doors here in Chattanooga, undefeated across 8 games. Bentley with a steal. He might be free. Trying to escape, takes a shot, but it slowly rolls towards goal, and a whistle at the top of the box in the first yellow card. Less than 10 minutes in. Devin Boyce with a little bit of desperation as he was just getting Bentley harassing him all the way through. Not just the steal, but the shot. Boyce a little bit late on that last try. That puts him in the book to start the match, only 9 minutes in. We just saw a dangerous set piece from forward Madison about 3.5 minutes ago. Now Chattanooga will have their first dangerous opportunity. This is a place where Omar Hernandez can absolutely let one rip if he is the one to take. You have Leffy, you have Wessels in the mix as well. Wynan Wessels and Omar Hernandez. Hernandez to strike as it goes off the wall. Kimball Jackson will watch that one flutter out of play for the first corner. And the wall working well to protect Wallace Lapsley. But it does give Chattanooga another attempt as they take the first corner of the match. Wessels got his first goal contribution last time out against Westchester. He serves the corner. Deep try, palmed out by Lapsley. Chattanooga hang on. This try from range, swatted out by Lapsley again. Hernandez keeps in play. And they'll open up some room going back to Ayambila, blocked by Galindrez. Walefi returns to Hernandez. Hernandez can't get the cross as Sosa stands tall. Ayambila keeps us deep in Madison's end. Service to the box, Shalaka with the touch. Hernandez again. Wessels looks for an option, headed centrally, but out of play. This is absolutely why Chattanooga has been one of the most dangerous offensive teams across all of USL League One. The double chance forcing Lapsley to push things upward multiple times throughout the game in that last sequence as well. Check out the new 2025 Chattanooga Red Wolves kit along the t-shirts, scarves, and novelty items. More at ChattanoogaRedWolves-SC.com. Madison, they haven't really had a great go of it to start off the season. They were in dead last in the League One table only about a month or so ago, but it took a 3-1 commanding win against Greenville midway through July on the 12th to really turn things around for the Mingos. Since it's been 2 draws and 2 wins. Not the highest goal differential, but that's something that Matt Glazier's teams have never really done at any point throughout their tenure with Glazier behind the bench. You expect a lot of tight games, a lot of defensively sound games. They remain a top 5 defensive team in USL League One. A lot of that having to do with holding tight behind the backs of one of the best keepers in the league with Bern Shipman, who was on the bench today, just having spent a majority of the workload. Bentley pokes it ahead, too far out of reach as You had an opportunity for Grayson Mercer. Deep try again, doesn't go further. Kinsner's service towards center. Shalaka steps forward. Headed forward, couldn't spring Galindras forward. The USL is on CBS SN. Championship Eastern Conference playoff contenders North Carolina FC and Detroit City FC face off Friday, August 15th at 7:30 Eastern on CBS SN. Taking a look at Scott McKenzie, who has been rewarded handsomely, especially in the last 4 days alone, getting his option extended through 2026. That was done on Friday, and then it was announced earlier today that he was coach of the month of July because of the run that they've had of form since their first match of last month against Knoxville, stringing along that run of 6 unbeaten. Bentley from range, punched out by Lapsley. Wallace Lapsley having to stand tall, a couple of huge saves off the jump as the Red Wolves look to pack the first goal in. They've been excellent at getting those chances, and who else to get it other than Matt Bentley, top 4 in League One in goals scored. Couldn't get behind the 28-year-old keeper as we have another corner given to the Red Wolves. Short Hernandez. Lefty attempted service, had a partial flub, so that allows Chattanooga to only come back only a short way as it comes back for Hernandez. Iambila with room. Only a disruption, a road bump at the most. Owen Green occupies that right side of the defensive 3 for Scott McKenzie. That was Omar Gomez's slot against Westchester, out for personal reasons. The only real major absence for the Red Wolves. On the field, smart decisions win games. Off the field, smart decisions save lives. If you've been drinking, don't drive. Pass your keys to a sober friend, call a rideshare, or take public transit. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. A reminder from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. Mal and Shalaka have bodies in front. Mal goes back to Lapsley as he had Mercer in his face. Shalaka with a giveaway. Mercer the steal. Walefi comes up. Walefi presses the gas. Centering feed. Hernandez escapes. Hernandez too high. Omar Hernandez has made forward Madison's life difficult, but cannot convert so far. Had the set piece earlier, had the shot just about 15 meters in, just on that last opportunity. And Hernandez has been so dynamic across his 2 seasons with Chattanooga, his 2nd year as a pro, coming from Mercer College in his 50th appearance across all competitions with the Red Wolves. Boyce can't keep in as Kinsner attempted to charge, but went out of play first. Galindres from Boyce. Kroll. Murphy retreats back to Shalaka. Widens for Sosa. Sosa again, cross attempted, kicked over, and easily into the hands of Smith. Continuing to look for the 31-year-old Colombian, Juan Galindres, but nothing successful there. As you have a takedown in front of the bench, advantage played for Chattanooga. Here's Hernandez. Waits for help. Hernandez central with a shot just over again. Kimball Jackson wanted a belated birthday gift but cannot get it behind Lapsley. But Chattanooga continue to threaten forward Madison's D as the move made by Hernandez got Jackson free and just overcooked it a smidge. Jackson recently turned 21 for the Lexington native, the Xavier Musketeer, in his first season on loan from Lexington after spending the last 2 seasons with the now USL Championship side, spending all 17 games in USL League One. Possession has heavily favored Madison, but a lot of the shooting metrics, including XG, shots on target, even just touches in the opponent's third, have been heavily favoring Chattanooga. Madison just needs to break down this door that Chattanooga can open at times. It just has not come, especially in this recent run of form. We talked about how they're unbeaten in their last 6, including wins in 5 of those 6, but if you really look at things defensively too, they've had 4 clean sheets, a +9 goal differential. One of the many reasons why Scott McKenzie got his option for extension to 2026, why he just continues to let the Wolves continue to climb. Sosa lost footing, Ayambila escapes. Denied by the Israeli center back, Michael Shalaka. Scooped into the box, held on, Galindres just wide, and doesn't matter, flag went up regardless. Juan Galindres continues to be a force for forward Madison on the attacking end of things. He's played the exact same number of games with both Forward Madison and the Chattanooga Red Wolves since joining in 24, 57 matches across his 2 seasons in 2021 and 2022, 57 matches with the Red Wolves. Coca-Cola is the exclusive soft drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Lapsley presses out, but only for a Chattanooga throw. Declan Waters. The header down, only falls for Hernandez. Walefi scored the opening goal last time out against Westchester. Team of the week, week 21 for the Brazilian midfielder. Cycles back to Waters. Mercer got contact, deflected off of the defender, and another corner for Chattanooga. Scott McKenzie talking about the substance of his player, just talking about how they focus on a lot of the small actions that have led to their recent run of winning and results. They'll continue to attack. Final 20 minutes of the half, their third corner. Madison still on 0. Centering feed, denied by Kroll. Wolefi settles. And too much for Hernandez. Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DN, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Lexington SC battle Phoenix Rising FC Saturday, August 9th. That's this Saturday, actually, at 6 Eastern. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. Spoke in the open of how Madison just haven't been able to find that continuity of guys, that overall collection, just due to all the juggling pieces they dealt with, largely due to injury. And we've seen a lot of those downfalls take its effect. A top 3 goal scoring unit a season ago, now they are within not just the bottom 5, they have the fewest goals in USL League One. They are averaging under a goal scored per game, 14 goals in 16 matches. The only team under 1 goal scored on average. Back for McLaughlin. King returns to Shalaka. Shalaka once more. Villader. Villader comes to center. Just out of reach of Murphy. Wolefi sets Mercer up. Chattanooga don't have numbers. Omar Hernandez goes straight to Lapsley. Wallace Lapsley, 35 matches in USL League One, having spent exactly half of his time between USL League One, some time in MLS Next Pro, and even the USL Championship in his first pro season with New York Red Bulls 2 back in 2020. Was the backup to 2 of the best goalkeepers across all of USL League One, Rashid Nuhu with Omaha and that title-winning team last year, and now gets to have the tutelage of Bernd Shipman at his disposal this season. And not just that, but also ex-goalkeeping coach and Matt Glazier leading the way for Madison. Lots of action in under a half an hour, no goals to speak. Boys calls for it. These two are 2 of 4 teams who have unbeaten runs of 4 or greater. Charlotte has a 4-game streak of points, all of them draws. Knoxville are at 5. And 3 points either way could threaten that mark. Chattanooga being the hottest team at this point in the season. Eyes set to catch Spokane at the top of the table. For Madison, it's just been about getting back to the top 8. Viadair comes across as the touch was too heavy in front by McLaughlin. On the Madison turnover, Chattanooga passed their way around. A lane was attempted for Hernandez, but Kroll has to slow things down a little. Hernandez chucks it, taken down in the area. And you have a whistle going into the area, Lapsley and Murphy down. It was the push off on Declan Waters that halted play, and Lapsley will go back. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select, the player's choice. King 2-4 in front of Boyce. Ayambila the steal. Ayambila takes on Shalaka. Centering feed, takes a deflection, side of the net, and Lapsley dives on it. Just so many opportunities from Chattanooga towards Wallace Lapsley. You look at just a bit above the half-an-hour mark. Heavily favoring Chattanooga in terms of shooting, 7-1 in terms of just the attempts. And that's with Madison having over 70% of possession to this point. A lot of the efficiency, a lot of possessing with purpose with Scott McKenzie's squad. Trying to make sure that every chance that they do have the ball, they are precise upfield. And the precision has been killer. Even looking back in the game versus Westchester, a lot of that not even necessarily an issue of skill or an issue of tactics. He said he just felt like we were the hungrier team, that we committed more to getting the 3 points, as this one served in centrally. Too high for Galindres. Boyce with a sweep. Overhead, Galindres again. McLaughlin denies the clear, but does give Smith a goal kick. Jackson chases Viadair. Boyce holds on. And Viadair wins Madison a throw. boys tried to go fancy, but failure in the attempt. Bentley. Wessels back to Walefi. Hernandez receives from Jackson. Chattanooga looked to suffocate Madison's defense. Top 3 scoring offense against the top 5 defense in USL League One. There is a chance one will give way, but who blinks first? Turnover by Chattanooga. Galindres is free. Galindres gets it stripped by Hernandez, chasing back. Header sends McLaughlin upward. Murphy and King. Galindres has a lane. Galindres from a wide angle took a deflection right towards the hands of Smith. This is another nice attempt by forward Madison. They haven't had very many of them, but when they do, hasn't necessarily been the best go of it in 2025 for the Mingos, but they have gotten a couple good ones toward Jason Smith so far. As this goes end to end, straight out of play. Zeros on the board here in Chattanooga. That was the end result in Madison's last game back at Bree Stevens against AV Alta. A game where they felt like they controlled possession, really dominated the game, had more chances, more high danger chances. And overall, Matt Glazier just said he was frustrated with the overall decision at the end of the day because they were really working well. Everything kind of seemed to be put into place. The execution, not necessarily where he wanted to be offensively. But can it come here for Madison? Sosa around, scoops it in the box. Only Jason Smith in the vicinity. Whistle as Mercer goes down. Another one of the verdicts made by our officiating crew there in the green today, as we have another replay presented by Rodriguez Dentistry. Score a winning smile, and not necessarily what you want to see if you are Chattanooga, with Grayson Mercer down on the pitch after taking some contact with Isaac Anking, the loanee from Rhode Island. Grayson Mercer, the first year from Western Michigan. He transferred there his final year after spending his first 3 in the NCAA with the Michigan State Spartans. The 23-year-old will send Wynand Wessels onto the free kick spot. Wessels wide. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site. SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. Murphy back to Lapsley, but a missed hit results in another Chattanooga corner. So far in 40 minutes, Madison has had a vast majority of the possession, but some of them squandered in places due to passes out of reach of the intended target, touches like that go out of play that will flip possession like it did for Madison. They had the back passes, but the missed hit by Lapsley results in a corner. Hernandez back and over the wall. Buckle up, fans. EPB Fiber Optics delivers the fastest internet speeds in Chattanooga. Offer the area's only 100% fiber optic network. Find the recklessly fast speed your home or business needs at epb.com. Recklessly fast speeds. That's a great way to categorize the attack of the Chattanooga Red Wolves, especially with how well they have been. And that's a red card for Matt Glazier. Matt Glazier disagreed with the verdict of the center official, and he gets sent off. Not happy with the decision is Matt Glazier. He might have delayed the start of play, trying to maybe protest the decision of our officiating crew in the green. Alejo Kalume, Christopher Slane, Nick Goyete, and Alexandru Fochea are the officiating crew, and a straight red for Matt Glazier as he continues to discuss, still not exactly sure what the issue was that got him sent off in the first place. Very adamant that it was not deserved. But nonetheless, they'll be looking to some of the extra help on the bench for forward Madison. So it was right there. He picked up the ball and then threw it into the crowd. That was enough to draw a red card. You see some of the help of the assistant coach, JT Pasquarella, alongside, trying to separate things. Neil Halavity, one of the assistant coaches as well, who will be in charge of helping forward Madison the rest of the way through for the final 48 minutes of this match. And from that spot, Lapsley will hang on to that. Second of three meetings between these two. The first one of two in the regular season. They played earlier here at CHI Memorial Stadium, where it was a 1-1 draw, but it was in the Jägermeister Cup, so they had to play to penalties, where the extra point was given to Chattanooga. However, it was all for naught at the end of the day, as Greenville Triumph were the only team in League One to even make it to the knockouts in the Jaeger Cup. Devin Boyce takes a stumble, will win the stoppage. We had a similar set piece at this area of the pitch in the opening 10 minutes. This time it's Boyce, but false start. King took the first set piece. Devin Boyce was on the false start. It's Boyce again, headed down, out of the box. Viadair, dispossessed. Full steam ahead for Ayambila. He's got Jackson. Chattanooga wait for help, and the string for King as he gets spilled. And the yellow, this is the first card against Chattanooga. So that is the first yellow card against Chattanooga. It will be Declan Waters who goes into the book for the Irishman as he centers this back line with Kinsner and Green. Try to prevent King from a potential counterattack as we have an extra 3 on the board for stoppage.
Ladies and gentlemen, the fourth official has indicated there will be a minute.
Lindres pivots. He was looking for assistance, but only the maroon jersey's in the way. Mercer might have been on offside position, so Madison take it back. Sosa. Scrambling to keep it in the line as Chattanooga return back to Mercer. And we might have some head-on-head with Mercer and Timmy Mail. They went up for the jump ball and both grabbed their heads immediately. As you just see, the second that ball makes contact, they both reach immediately. That's not necessarily the best sign. And it's a pretty even jump ball, all things considered. Grayson Mercer at 6'1", 201. Timmy Mail at 6'1", 170. So they're pretty much similar in frame. It'd be a jump ball either way for Mercer. 10 games across all competitions for the rookie. Timmy Mail set to be 30 at the end of the month. He was on loan to the Red Wolves twice throughout his career. One time when he was with North Carolina FC, and once again in 2022 with the Tampa Bay Rowdies. As they get inspected for potential head injuries, we'll take this opportunity to take a drink of Body Armor, the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves.
Concessions tonight brought to you by Coca-Cola. Quench your thirst with a Coca-Cola beverage. Together, taste
Now a
better.
question arises, could we see
Exclusive beverage partner.
potential injury sub for either side, maybe in the concussion side of things, or will we move on? And with Matt Glazier in the locker room for the rest of this match, JP Pasquarella commanding the way for forward Madison for the second half and change. Potentially discussing the opportunity of a concussion substitution, but that thumbs up from the officiating crew to both benches. We might be seeing both guys just return. No impediment. Murphy and Boyce around to Sosa. Ng King in the open space. Falls right to Villader. Boyce deflects. Galindres can't control. Back to Murphy. Timmy Mail is back in. Declan Waters chases back, but Green will let it roll to Smith. Sent out by Smith. Leffy returns to his keeper. We're well beyond the 3 of stoppage due to that little head-on-head, and offside was Kimball Jackson. And the offside will be it for the opening half of play. Zeros across the board between Chattanooga and Madison, but not without its flurry of opportunities. We'll see how things come in the second half when we return to play. A very busy first half, especially for Wallace Lapsley. However, both Lapsley and Smith have held this game scoreless. More from the USL and League One on the other side of the break.
He shoots, and he scores!
Why do you always seem to be on that last flight home? Why is the customer always right, even when they're wrong? It's because when it's your business, you're all in. And no one's all in with you like EPB. Only EPB is all in with 100% fiber fast internet that's always your best value. Plus experts all in to help you 24/7. We're all in Chattanooga, because we're all in this together. EPB for your business. We're all in.
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
Returning here to Chattanooga, Tennessee, where we are scoreless through the first half of play. As we don't just look ahead to the second half, we look ahead to what's on the horizon for the Wolves and for the Mingos. For Chattanooga, their next 2 games are on the road against 2 relatively difficult road venues, with Papillion in Union Omaha, who are struggling but have performed well at home. Texoma, one of the newcomers, trying to make their stamp in USL League One, wanting to stay above the playoff line. You also have AV Alta, who is attempting to make their way into the top 4, while Charlotte have been very dangerous as well. For Chattanooga, they haven't had the best road record, but for forward Madison, they'll be having a lot of games back up in Wisconsin where they're looking to better their home record, and they'll have a lot of opportunities to do so. Of their 7 games in August, only 1 of 2 on the road is today's game in Chattanooga. The other one at the end of the month against Tormenta. They kicked off the month with a draw at home against AV Alta. 4 more games back at Bree Stevens for the Mingos, and that could be an opportunity for them to continue escalating the standings, considering that they want to tie for 8th and to continue that into their road stretch. And not just our match today, but over the weekend, we got a chance to celebrate 1,000 games in the USL League One as we take a look back through this historic milestone for USL League One.
It is a milestone 7 years in the making. USL League One is about to stage its 1,000th match. And no one has played in more of those matches than Greenville Triumph defender Evan Lee. 163 league appearances. How cool is that to be a part of that history?
It's really cool. I think it's things like that you think about growing up, and when you can find a good club in Greenville like I have, and a good league that is healthy and growing, it's really cool to be a part of.
You guys were the inaugural match, and everything was going fine until you had the defender's worst nightmare. You were stuck, the only guy left on a 2-on-1. What do you remember about that moment in the first League One game?
Not being very much fun in that moment. But what I do really remember is obviously being disappointed in the result for us, but excited the league had kicked off, and excited that we were able to take Alex Morel, the first ever goal scorer, and bring him over to Greenville the next season. So that's really what I remember from it.
Lee and the Triumph have seen plenty of big moments. There was Liam McKinnon's 4-goal showing against Chattanooga Red Wolves in 2023. The year before, a 5-5 10-goal draw against South Georgia Tormenta. So good, they now call it the Peach States Derby. Speaking of derbies, the Henny Derby between Forward Madison and Richmond Kickers finished League One's first ever CBS SN match in grand fashion.
The Richmond Kickers win the Henny Derby!
From Madison's Snopener to Union Omaha's season points record in 2023, League One is writing history one match at a time. You got Ronaldinho with a shovel in the dirt, getting ready to get a stadium going here. Does this come together better than you thought?
Definitely. Because again, when you come to a new team, you're not really sure. And it's easy to throw buzzwords around and say, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But to see the club try to push forward and actually make some progress in these things is really good. That goes to show how serious the league is, and that's all we can ask for at the end of the day.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines, from early mornings to late nights, from fun with friends to winner takes all, from the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
He shoots, and he scores!
Returning here to Chattanooga, where the Red Wolves and Ford Madison are stuck at 0. It has been a busy day here at CHI Memorial, but just as busy in the USL and League One. As we look at our news and notes, the Cosmos make their return as one of 7 clubs expected to join USL League One in 2026. The revival of the Cosmos, they'll be playing in Jersey. Former men's national team Casey Keller joins the Boise ownership. Another one of those newcomers expected to come next year. Who knows how they'll do considering the record of this year's newcomers. And Austin Pack from South Georgia Tormenta getting a goalie goal in a 2-2 draw against Greenville Triumph to force the 1 point apiece, which actually has kept Greenville in this little two-way tie with Portland in the 8-9 slot, where Ford Madison actually looked to take over. And this is pre-game statistics, so it doesn't include the fact that we are tied as of right now. But as we mentioned in the open, Madison, if they can somehow eke out a goal and get the win, is a 3-way tie between Greenville, Portland, and Madison for that number 8 slot. For Chattanooga, a tie keeps them at number 2. A win puts them at the top of the table, something they have never done in their entire history as a club. They have only been to the top 3 one time since 2023. 2 games are underway in the USL League One. You have Omaha leading the way back at home. You also have Naples and Tormenta. That game is being played up in South Florida. And you have a slate of games in the USL League One as well. As we mentioned, it's going to be Knoxville going to Madison. It's going to be Chattanooga traveling to Omaha as we return back here at Center Pitch. It's U Sports Night here in Chattanooga, where the next generation of Wolves exit the pitch, returning for the second half in a 0-0 game on the other side.
He shoots, and he scores!
Real recognize real. Real taste, unmistakably Sprite. Real refreshment, crisp lemon lime. Sprite, obey your thirst.
This isn't just a team, it's a statement. We don't just represent Chattanooga.
Let's get it poppin', let's get it poppin'.
We run it.
Let's get it poppin'.
Built to battle. Fueled by pride. Driven by the pack.
Let's get it poppin'.
Chattanooga Red Wolves.
The sun sets in Chattanooga in a relatively modest 75-degree day here in Tennessee, but the level of play is absolutely scalding in respect to the weather outside. As we take a look at our halftime highlights, and this was very early on in the game. The Red Wolves were absolutely flying as Ian Vila attempted the center towards Matt Bentley, but Wallace Lapsley was all the way through. And they continued to find these long balls, not just finding them, but having the ball bounce in their way. This was the try from range by Omar Hernandez, just barely missing the side post. And then once again, with the deep try by Chattanooga, they're just so good on these jump balls, just finding the ball and where it goes. Matt Bentley took the swing where Lapsley made the save again. And for Chattanooga, they just don't stop. They're a team where they're kind of all gas, no brakes. It's just when they actually step on the accelerator, as you had Kimball Jackson within the mix there. And this was one of the only good chances that Ford Madison have. Galindras from a wide angle took a deflection off of the defender in front. That was Declan Waters, who took the clip before it made its way to Smith. And then this was right at the tail end of the half. Matt Glazier, he just tossed the ball behind him. Didn't necessarily think anything of it, but it was enough for our center official to whip out the red card, where Coach Glazier is not going to be a part of the bench for the rest of this match. And we mentioned it during the game broadcast itself. For Chattanooga, they've been giving a lot of opportunities. It's something that Scott McKenzie wants to see out of his squad. High pressure, high level of efficiency when they are on the ball, even though they're not on it very often. We heard about it the last time out against Westchester. They have one of the lowest possession rates across all of USL League One, but they want to be efficient whenever they have the ball. For Forward Madison, they've continued to possess, but they have had those opportunities, those passes go awry that haven't necessarily fallen their way. How do both clubs tighten things up in the second half? As Chattanooga, they are in their home reds. They will start the second half left to right. Forward Madison in the all pink, right to left. They are for the second half as we await the starting whistle for the second set of 45 here at CHI Memorial Stadium in Chattanooga, Tennessee, where the Wolves eye the top slots in the league off of the back of a fantastic run of form, including 5 wins of their last 6 across all competitions. For Forward Madison, trying to force a 3-way tie for the number 8 slot, having points in their last 4 regular season matches as we restart for the second half of play. Ryan Lee and our ESPN Plus crew, thank you for joining us here in Chattanooga, where a lot of the chances and opportunities have gone towards Chattanooga. However, the possession and the overall control has been with Madison. They just haven't made it really as dangerous as they would have liked to in that final third especially. But you take that middle third, the defensive third, it's been all Madison's game until Chattanooga just decide to let these long balls go, where they have just been dangerous all year. And it was a little bit of what we were talking about right at the tail end of the half, of maybe not maximizing that possession. Our Madison allowing Chattanooga to get back into the attack, especially in their own half. These second balls, these deflections out of play, some passes don't hit the money, and it is just played right into Chattanooga's hands. The overall organization, they're very tough to break down. As this is deflected to the box, Green can't control, Boyce clears. Back into the area, but whistled against Chattanooga. Talked a lot about how the recent performance of Chattanooga has not only propelled them to be a top 2 team in USL League One, but also with a lot of the credit going to Scott McKenzie, just talking about how a lot of it has just been surrounding yourself with successful people, and when good people are around you, good things do tend to happen. And it just has spoken greatly about the culture that has been built here in Chattanooga. Even owner Bob Martino has talked about how Scott McKenzie just represents what the future of the Red Wolves can be, and how the work that he's put in has really elevated the standards of the club from top to bottom. No playoffs in his first 2 seasons, but in prime position to not only be in the playoffs, but maybe a number 1 seed in their sights. But they'll have to look out. Madison continue to possess in Chattanooga's end. Faraday Sosa looks for room. Sosa curls it to the box. 2 men in the back post. Loose in the middle. Can't get a swing. As you had McLaughlin and Murphy in the region. Boyce retrieves. Galindres tries to escape, but cannot do so as Smith pushes out. A lot of what Madison has tried to do hasn't really worked, but this time they finally got some opportunities. You had McLaughlin and Murphy could not connect, and then Devin Boyce on the second ball, and they've just been very physical with a big body in Juan Galindres. As another whistle goes against the Wolves. Enking made a man miss as he comes to Boyce. Boyce slides McLaughlin. Viadair. Returns Viadair. McLaughlin returns to Kroll as they catch on the near side. Sosa gets around his man. Verity Sosa takes a shot and misses. A nice opportunity for forward Madison. They've really found a nice little jump in their attack ever since coming out of the half, but we mentioned how it just hasn't necessarily been the most precise of opportunities for Madison. That one reflecting that as well. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XMFC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesday nights, plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XMFC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Damia Viadair comes back to League One after spending some time in the USL Championship with Sacramento. He slides in, couldn't get the touch. Boyce got the touch, but no one in pink available. Only Omar Hernandez as he elevates. Bentley chips it. Iambila's free, gets around Shalaka. Iambila with room. He waits, he crosses, but it hits Wallace Lapsley before it can connect to Mercer. Iambila can absolutely blaze off of the wing for the 24-year-old Ghanaian, on loan from Miami FC in the USL Championship after spending his first couple of years back in his home country of Ghana, and even an opportunity to start his career with the USL Championship with San Antonio and with Las Vegas Lights before coming to his first stint in League One. Murphy. Viadair settles. Springs McLaughlin loose. He takes a stumble as Green chops him down. A yellow card given to Owen Green after that last tackle was made. It was just that tackle by Owen Green as McLaughlin was trying to cut back against the grain. And we've only seen 3 yellows come out of the pocket of our lead official. Alejo Kalume in the green with Christopher Slane, Nick Goyete, and Alexandru Fuchea are the refereeing crew for today's match. It's a service on 2 with Boyce and Enking. Boyce to serve. Headed in front, McLaughlin's out of play. Body Armor is the official sports drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Murphy can't collect, so it springs Hernandez loose. Boyce chasing. Sosa only as far as center. Matt Bentley is loose. One-on-one with Lapsley. Lapsley misses the dive, plays it back. Hernandez scores! Hernandez keeps it howling for the Wolves as they open the scoring just out of the break.
For your Chattanooga Red Wolves.
A missed clearance by forward Madison allows Chattanooga to run free the other way. Lapsley misses the dive, and that allows Hernandez to come in unmarked, no keeper in front. As Omar Hernandez, that now puts him at 5 goals in the regular season alone, 6 in all competitions, where the second-year forward has been so hot. And Omar Hernandez, he was our player to watch at the Open for a reason.
Omar Hernandez.
A Dalton, Georgia native, 24 years old, has been a regular in the lineup, and he now has 3 goals in the last 4. How does Madison respond as one of the top goal-scoring units continue to pack it in? Murphy around, back to Sosa. Shalaka centers Enking. And we talk about miscues for forward Madison. That just adds to the mix. Omar Hernandez with the goal. Matt Bentley credited with the assist for how dynamic Bentley has been on the goal-scoring side of things. That was only his first assist, contrasted to his 6 goals that leads the Wolves, as McLaughlin tries to escape from the speedy Ian Bila. Nice slide made by Jackson. Attempting to spring Bentley forward, but it comes back to Lapsley. Bentley, edge of the area, back post, can't connect to Mercer. Bentley set up Hernandez, and Bentley was trying to give Mercer a try as well. Couldn't quite connect there. Matt Bentley, someone that at the beginning of the season, Scott McKenzie said he just wanted to look for guys who can work hard and really embrace their roles. Matt Bentley has most certainly been one of them since taking a hiatus from the USL ranks to go to England with Maidstone United of the National League South in England overseas for a year. That was after 2 years with the Richmond Kickers. That included his first year in League One in that Players' Shield winning kicker squad. He's actually been a much stronger offensive presence for Chattanooga versus his time in Richmond. Mel wants to give Sosa a try, but too much there. On the field, smart decisions off the chair or take public transit. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. A reminder from the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security. Headed to center, Boyce for Enking. Hits Boyce into the area. Viader looks to escape Jackson. Takes a touch, and this will be a throw-in for Madison. Madison still yet to get a corner in nearly an hour. Chattanooga had 4 in the first half. They were just peppering Wallace Lapsley in that Chattanooga end. And Madison look to strike. Jay Cruel widens. Villader. Galindres for Boyce. Chattanooga congests the lane. Cruel. Galindres. Centers for Villader, out of reach. Shalaka pushes it for Murphy. Enking deflects it back to Boyce. Boyce attempted cross and a sliding deflection made for Chattanooga as Madison will get their first corner of the match. It took all of an hour for Madison to get the first corner. Stoppage in the box. This allows Damia Villader to send the first Madison corner. Over 150 total matches between the USL Championship and League One. Low driver, headed up. Some incidental contact as Mail was ball watching and took contact on the Red Wolf player in the area. It is Wessels who gets back up. First year in the USL, playing in the US from South Africa. As we have a trio of changes coming up for forward Madison. So you have Aiden Macias, Luca Dorado, and Derek Gebhard all set to enter the game, with exits to Galindres and Boyce and Faraday Sosa. Derek Gebhard will take the armband as he chases franchise history in the making. You sub off the all-time leader in Chattanooga goals in Juan Galindres for the man chasing the sole spot in Madison's history book, looking to break the tie with Christian Cheney for most goals in Madison franchise history. Partial contact right to Gebhard. So the first changes made by forward Madison, and remember, it's not Matt Glazier, it's the assistant coach JP Pasquarella, as Glazier was sent off right before the half as Gebhard was getting harassed by Wessels. JP Pasquarella trying to direct traffic as Madison. They've continued to have these free kicks in Chattanooga's end, but none have really threatened that much, as many of the services, they've gone to Jason Smith, they've gone to Madison players, but the headers just have not been on target. A chance to strike. This time it's Villader, 50-50 ball, punch out. Macias gives it a swing, but offside Madison. A pair of substitutions for Scott McKenzie are on deck as Joshua Ramos and Pedro Hernandez get ready to enter. It is Hernandez who'll replace Grayson Macer at the top of the three forwards for Hernandez, who has just been so good for Chattanooga, as you also have Kimball Jackson exiting with Ramos on the entry. Pedro Hernandez coming from Cal State Monterey Bay, where he's established a new career high in goals only halfway through the season. And Joshua Ramos previously with South Georgia Tormenta on his second team in 2 seasons, since becoming pro with Dalton State, an NAIA All-American, as he comes in at the change. Buckle up, fans. EPB Fiber Optics delivers the fastest internet speeds in Chattanooga over the area's only 100% fiber optic network. Find the relentlessly fast speed your home or business needs at epb.com. Bit of a shoe issue with Timmy Mail, already having issues head to toe if you include the head-on-head that he took at the end of the first half. Now trying to string up the laces again. Only 20 minutes into the second half, final 25 here at CHI Memorial. Omar Hernandez's goal is the difference maker back at the 54th minute. Shalaka lays it back with Mail. Laced it up and around for Sosa. Aiden Macias will watch that dribble out of play. Top to Mail. Sosa centers. A double team. McLaughlin can't get it to net. And the booking on Villader as he was shoving down the Chattanooga defender. Just had a free break on the loose ball where it looked like Villader just was pursuing the ball and just made contact with Omar Hernandez as he's down to ground, and that'll be another yellow card against forward Madison.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
Omar Hernandez back on his feet after taking that last stumble. The lone goal score in today's game puts him at 5 in this year's regular season. He's actually got 6 if you include a goal he scored in the Open Cup as well. Shalaka heads it out forward to Gebhard. He's got Wessels glued all over him, but able to get it out of Chattanooga's reach. Coca-Cola is the exclusive soft drink of the Chattanooga Red Wolves. Back in play after the throw. Cruel skies it, wanted Sosa. And the two-handed shove by Bentley will get whistled down as Murphy tried to possess. Ayambila getting pulled for a quick chat with our head official, Alejo Colume. Only a warning, no card at the end of the day, but that was a fully extended two-arm shove. You saw the contact by Villadair drop Omar Hernandez earlier. That one got a yellow. The fact that that was only resulting in a foul. At the very least, it was a whistle. Murphy and Villadair set to serve again. Teammates with Union Omaha in 2021. Served into the area, back post. Cruel was tangled, and it's a corner for Madison. Jay Cruel was trying to out-position his defending man marker with Joshua Ramos in the mix. And this is only the second corner that Madison will take. Low driver, Villadair sets up and missed. Villadair, he had the strike he wanted and the space he needed to get that off, just not precise enough. But Madison have been getting much more opportunities in this second half, and Madison banging at the door, just yet to break. Check out the new 2025 Chattanooga Red Wolves kit along with t-shirts, scarves, and novelty items, and much more at ChattanoogaRedWolves-SC.com. McLaughlin. Back from Cruel. Villadair just got chopped down by Ramos, and Villadair is in some pain. Shalaka and Sosa. Macias. Gebhardt cycle around. Sosa's down. Gebhardt is down. Bentley with a yellow. All of the Mingos have gone down to ground in some way, shape, and form, especially on the wing. Bentley stuck the leg out as Gebhardt took the tumble. And now Bentley is the one booked. 73rd minute. The only goal has gone to Omar Hernandez. Bentley got the assist. It ended a 260-minute consecutive run of forward Madison's defense hanging on without getting a goal behind them. As at the very end of that sequence, Faraday Sosa exits, Nico Brown enters. Another sub made by Madison. This is their fourth. Murphy centers, deflection, Kroll up for grabs. Walefi heads it out of play. And it's a Madison corner. So right after the yellow card, Nico Brown makes the entry. The Atlanta native. As this is served in again, contact in the area. Murphy loads up, takes a block out of play. Another corner for Madison. Chattanooga got 4 corners in the first half. Madison had 4 corners in the second half. It was headed out, you had a man in the area, and way to get back on top of the box. Eric Kinsner to get the block. Second try, Kroll heads it down. Settled back to Madison. Nico Brown. Macias. Viader flips ends as he lost footing. But another deflection. Driven in again, takes deflection, Kroll, punched out by Smith. Jason Smith keeps a clean sheet for Chattanooga, but Madison are back on. Murphy round for Macias. Viader chips it, headers down, bouncer, Macias settles. Dorado, his shot was blocked. Murphy loads up, another deflection, and another corner for Madison. Madison have been just getting corner after corner. Jason Kroll with the best of the bunch. However, they still have yet to break through the dam. An absolute wall that has been Jason Smith. As that header, only Red Wolves in the way. Derek Gebhard. Murphy. Macias keeps it in play. Shalaka bodied off. Tussling with Kinsner. That one rattles the wall. And another sub coming up. 2 more subs made by Scott McKenzie, Aaron Lombardi, Zaire Vasquez coming in. A couple of USL League One veterans. Lombardi returning to Chattanooga after spending last season with Tormenta. Zaire Vasquez spent his first 3 seasons with Central Valley Fuego. He comes in as he came to Chattanooga after they started their season at the tail end of March. He comes in for Omar Hernandez. And more reinforcements come for Scott McKenzie. On that last corner, by the way, right before they kicked off. The bench got it's chance in front, scores! Gebhard has tied it! He flies alone in the record books! Derek Gebhard is Madison's all-time top goal scorer! What a throw by forward Madison. You had the jumble in the box. Gebhard all alone for the tap-in. And a record-breaking goal for Madison as Gebhard gets it done. The all-time leader in appearances, assists, now goals, alone in forward Madison history. What a throw off of the side on the throw-in, and now Madison have life again. They've broken through after 3 shots on target in the first half, and they have been barraging Jason Smith, peppering him with 5 shots on target in the second half. Deflection falls right towards Ramos. Lombardi. Lombardi to cross, deflects on Kroll. Lombardi looks for options. Wanted to go back post, but only into the crowd. Lombardi replaced Matt Bentley, by the way. That really dangerous offensive threat for the Chattanooga Red Wolves. You have forward for forward and forward for defender. And then you had the ensuing sub by Madison where they went for the back, Faraday Sosa for Nico Brown, the midfielder. Madison trying to bring numbers up. Chattanooga, at least on the sub before the game-tying goal, we're trying to bring numbers back. It broke the tie between him and Christian Cheney for the top of Madison's record books. He stands alone, but could increase the lead even further, except the pass was too far in front as we enter the final 10 minutes of the match. Ayambila. Double team forces the throw. Madison has made 4 substitutions, all of them on that right side of their formation, the far side of the pitch for forward Madison. For Chattanooga, they've also used up 4 of their subs, but they've been dispersed. 3 of them up front as Villader lays it back to Lapsley. Ramos chops it across for Vasquez. And Ayambila cannot contain inside the line. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Been quite a half-to-half resurgence for forward Madison since Chattanooga really controlled that first half. Even though Madison had 70% of possession, you had that 7-3 discrepancy favoring Chattanooga in terms of just shooting attempts. And then in the second half, it's been 81% Madison possessing, out shooting Chattanooga 6-5 on the attempts, 1 on target apiece. But just the threat of the offense has to, at the very least, make Scott McKenzie and Jason Smith, at the very least, sweat a little. And they did eventually break through. Whistle down. That was Pedro Hernandez. We've seen this happen before. You just have to look back 5 days ago in their match against Westchester. Westchester would end up tying the game 1-1 before Chattanooga made it 2-1 well into the 80th. We're in the 84th. Chattanooga, two straight home games on deck, Omaha and Texoma. Aaron Lombardi looks to escape. He's getting pinched on the double team. Ramos, Walefi. Smith, the safest option. Circle to Kinsner. It's a foot race, Pedro Hernandez with the partial flub there as Mail gets it free. Pedro Hernandez was offside. He didn't even go for the ball, but the flag will go up regardless. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN+. Go to USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for the complete USL TV listings. Back-to-back whistles against the Red Wolves. Macias is back. Centers Villader. Kroll. McLaughlin back to Macias. Does Madison have a game-winning goal in their sights? A lane in front, Villader just missed! Damia Villader looking for his first goal in a Madison kit, could not get it through as he had the lane. Maybe an extra touch could have forced something, but played the shot on the lefty. As we have the fifth and final substitution. It is Christopher Garcia coming in as Garrett McLaughlin makes his exit. McLaughlin was nursing an injury where he's been working himself back in, so this allows Garcia to come in, the 22-year-old from El Paso. He didn't play very much with Austin last year in MLS Next Pro, only 9 games, but he was a regular. The 2 seasons prior to that with the El Paso Locomotive has been a consistent presence off of the bench, 17 total matches with forward Madison across all comps. Long ball attempted to Lombardi. Madison with 81% of possession in the second half, 3/4 in the game, but Owen Green hangs tight. Couldn't get around Villader. Gebhardt couldn't get the steal. Ramos forward for Lombardi. Too much for Gebhardt, Green steps up. Nice block by Villader to take possession back from Madison. Macias overruns it. Walefi steps in and a nice block in front. Murphy eyes Wessels. Partial deflection. Lombardi's got a lane. Lombardi waits. Splits to Ramos. Back to Lombardi up top. Ramos again. Attempted to centrally serve it, but it's out for a goal kick. This is the second of 7 August matches for the Mingos. This game and a road trip to Tormenta at the end of the month are the only 2 road matches they'll have to deal with. After today, you go into the weekend to start a 4-game homestand with a lot of teams either fighting for playoff slots or playing for top 4 slots. Knoxville, Naples, Spokane, and Texoma. Lombardi whistled down. Matt Glazier talked about how tough this Chattanooga team is to break down. Just talking about how compact they were defensively, how much they work. They can outwork you at times. That's happened today, but the bouncer goes for Dorado. And Dorado got the last touch. at the 90. Madison player down in the center circle. It is Wessels with the yellow. It was just the late, ooh, that looked much worse than it actually did in real time. It looked like it may have just been a jump ball, but he was late on Murphy, who just got barreled into from behind. In real time, it looked like maybe it was a true jump ball, but on that replay, you could tell Wessels was slow on that. Charging in, already has a bit of a frame discrepancy on Murphy, 5'11" Murphy versus the 6'2" Wessels. But the timing is what changes that. And with the full complement of substitutions by both coaches, with just the overall craziness that this game has provided, especially in the second half, we have 7 whole minutes of stoppage time at our disposal. Scott McKenzie, by the way, still has a sub available if he wants it, but the guys on have been doing quite a stellar job, aside from the throw-in, to keep Madison at bay. Question is, can Madison get a game winner? They've trailed for the opening goal 7 times, but only 0 wins. Dorado plays it back, Murphy. Centering Fee, no header there. Back up top, Kroll winds up, took a deflection, and Dorado couldn't get the second try, as this is a 7th corner for Madison, all in the second half. Every corner in the game has been played in this left goal, and that doesn't stop there, as you had the deflection by Walefi to get the body in front of Kroll's attempt via dare to serve once more. Skies it. Only Wolves in the area. Gebhardt settles for Garcia. Returns to Gebhardt. Try from range, just miss hit. The overall versatility of Derek Gebhardt has been a man that's been slotted in pretty much every position that Matt Glazier has thrown at him. The longest tenured forward Madison players at 5 seasons. The only one on the roster predating Matt Glazier, as Pedro Hernandez accidentally got some contact on Mail, so that'll be a Chattanooga whistle. Timmy Mail, by the way, one of 5 players on the forward Madison roster who were ex-Red Wolves. Was one of them, and the other 3 are not playing in today's game. Jason Ramos on the bench, Jackson Dietrich not in selection, and neither were Jose Carrero Garcia. Lombardi attempts to center. This one settled down, scooped in the middle, Green to goal, off the post and out. Kroll clears. And Gebhardt's got a lane. Gebhardt, heavily pursued, allows the Mingos to make their way back, as we're 3.5 minutes deep of 7. Christopher Garcia cannot connect to Macias. Lombardi and Ramos back and forth. A couple of ex-Tormenta teammates from a year ago. Lombardi wants to set Pedro free. Pedro Hernandez around Lapsley, sends it across, and they score! Off the bench, on the board, Zaire Vasquez, game winner in Chattanooga! The back and forth with Ramos and Lombardi. And Lombardi had all the pressure come his way as Timmy Mail and Pedro Hernandez, they had all the defensive pressure out wide, and Vasquez was all alone at the top of the 6. Both of Chattanooga's goals have come because Lapsley was so aggressive outside of the 6, fell down out of position, and allowed a follow-up on the opposite post. First it was Omar Hernandez, then it was Pedro to Vasquez, and Chattanooga have the lead in stoppage time. That was a beautiful string of possession from a trio of substitutes. Lombardi started the rush with Joshua Ramos, Pedro Hernandez got the reception to cross it, and Zaire Vasquez with the finisher. 4 substitutes, all 4 changes by Scott McKenzie on that goal to get a game winner and a potential heartbreaker in Wisconsin.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. Goal scored by Chattanooga Red Bulls, number 9, Zahir.
Do Madison have magic at the end of stoppage time? Christopher Garcia weaves through the Wolves but cannot continue possession as it's dumped out. Mail to Lapsley. That's game number 70, goal number 11 for Zaire Vasquez in the 90+5. High in the box, Brown to center, right to Smith. Pedro Hernandez got his first assist of the season on that goal as you had the long ball attempted by Madison, and Brown, had that hit, Dorado would have been there. Dorado has seen late game winners before. He got the lone goal in a 1-0 win against Tormenta. That was at the end of July as Hernandez keeps it in play. Garcia, last push for Madison. Villader, chopped out by Chattanooga. Goal kick, Lapsley. Not there for Garcia, throw in Madison. We're past 7. Is there magic for Madison? Kroll blocked. Blocked again. And running free is Josh Ramos. He's got Pedro Hernandez 2-on-1. Ramos sidesteps. Maybe waiting to eat the clock. Backheeled, Ayambila to center, punched out by Lapsley. Out for a corner, Chattanooga. As Ayambila works up the crowd. Ramos trying to box out. And that will be it. Chattanooga charge up to the top of the standings. First place, they stand alone in USL League One.
The final score of tonight's match stands at Forward Madison 1. And your Chattanooga Red Wolves
game winner for the Wolves, scored by none other than the ex-Central Valley Fuego forward coming off of the bench. All 4 subs involved in the play. Lombardi and Ramos find Hernandez, and the centering touch in by Vasquez for our play of the match, presented by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. And what a beautiful offensive counterattack it was for Zaire Vasquez and for Chattanooga to steal the 3 points when it looked like Madison maybe could have come away with a draw. As Vasquez comes on for the game winner, it doesn't get started without the efforts of our player of the match, presented by Outlaw Light Beer, Omar Hernandez. We spotlighted him in the open. He has been so dynamic. That is 6 goals of his 7 in 2025. And he has been dynamite, the 24-year-old. As we return to CHI Memorial Stadium and Chattanooga when we come back.
Why do you always seem to be on that last flight home? Why is the customer always right, even when they're wrong? It's because when it's your business, you're all in. And no one's all in with you like EPB. Only EPB is all in with 100% fiber fast internet that's always your best value. Plus experts all in to help you 24/7. We're all in Chattanooga because we're all in this together. EPB for your business. We're all in.
This isn't just a team. It's a statement. We don't just represent Chattanooga.
Let's get it poppin'. Let's get it poppin'.
We run it.
Let's get it poppin'.
Built to battle. Fueled by pride. Driven by the pack.
Let's get it poppin'.
Chattanooga Red Wolves.
We return here to CHI Memorial Stadium, where Chattanooga Red Wolves are atop of the League One standings with a stoppage time stunner to get the full 3 as our play the ball and only hurt them in the very end. Halftime stats are presented by Smart Bank. Experience Smart Bank as we take a look at full time, and it really looked like Forward Madison were going to get the better of Chattanooga in that second half specifically. Yes, you see the shot metrics, but if you look at the second half alone, the attempts were 13-4 in the second half alone. However, for Chattanooga, they had the dangerous counterattack. They knew how to maximize some of the holes in Madison's defense in order to get the 3 points and to stand alone in the #1 seed in League One. It was a beautiful game here in Chattanooga, and the Wolves. For our entire ESPN Plus crew, my name is Ryan Lee. Thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.